What's up, everybody? Welcome back to RacingDudes.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews. Let's go to Friday at Saratoga. It's such a huge day and week of racing at Saratoga. But let's go to Friday. Race 11 on the card. Let's go to the Acorn Stakes, a grade 1 event going 1 1/8 miles for the 3-year-old fillies. I'll put the screen up on now. Field of 7 lined up for this one. This should be a heck of a lot of fun. Anytime we've got good cheer in a race right now, you got to be very excited. She is the overwhelming 1-2 choice to win this race, and deservingly so. But before we get to her, let's just go down the field one by one. We'll only have to wait just a second to get to good cheer because we've got her at the number 2 spot. We've got number 1 Scottish Lassie to kick us off here. And Scottish Lassie coming off of a 3rd place effort at Belmont at the Big A last time out against Allowance Company. Beat 3 lengths in that one, but, was making the first start of her 3-year-old season. As a 2-year-old, she was able to win the Frizette in her second start. Won that race as a maiden before then running 4th, beaten 7 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. Got beat by Immersive, another Brad Cox trainee, as a matter of fact. But anyway, should run better this time out. Second off the layoff, but still a very, very long shot here. I don't like her chances all that much. The number 2 is Good Cheer. Good Cheer, all she's done is win all 7 of her starts, including the Kentucky Oaks last time out, the race all 3-year-old fillies aimed for early in the season. And she did it very impressively, like she does every single time. Like I said, 7 for 7, wins by 8 1/4, 17, 4 3/4, 2 1/2, 6 1/4, 3 1/2, and the Kentucky Oaks 2 1/4. That's pretty unbelievable. The other unbelievable thing about Good Cheer to me is she's never a huge standout on numbers. And a matter of fact, last time out in the Kentucky Oaks, she was not a standout at all. Like, she just kind of looked like all of the other ones in the top tier, I would say, based on numbers. But she just wins these races so easily, like she's way the best. And so she just outruns those numbers every single time. No reason to think she won't do it again here. Easier field for sure for this one. She's going to be awfully, awfully tough to hold off in this spot. The number 3 is Lacara. This is a horse that ran 9th, beating 13 lengths in the Kentucky Oaks last time out. She did win the Ashland 2 races back. She also won the Suncoast Stakes at Tampa 4 races back as well. She's going to be a little bit dangerous on this track. She does have nice early speed. She could get to the front. Maybe she could take this field gate to wire. Maybe she could at least hold on for a bit here and hold on for second. I think she's the most likely horse to get the lead. And again, at Saratoga, a little bit different track, a little bit tougher to close here. Maybe she can kind of, get up and at least get a piece of things. At 10-1, I think she's one that you definitely want to use to juice up your exotics. So number 4 is Shred the Gnar. I think with this horse, the last 2 races were very impressive. 2 races back, broke the maiden going 1 mile at Gulfstream Park. And just kind of dominated that one, and then opened up the racing on Kentucky Oaks Day. If you remember, this horse ran on Kentucky Oaks Day in an allowance at Churchill Downs. Like I said, it was the first race of the day on Kentucky Oaks Day. Of course, Good Cheer wins the Kentucky Oaks later on the card, but Shred the Gnar was a very popular choice. She was 4 to 5 that day, and she looked the part. She absolutely dominated by 7 lengths in gate-to-wire fashion. I think it's a battle between the 3 and the 4 to get the lead. I just kind of think maybe Lacara with a little bit more experience, a little bit more, just experience, not to be complicated, but just in bigger races and stuff like that. Maybe she gets to the front. But Shred the Gnar certainly will be up there as well. It could set it up for a horse like Good Cheer. It could also set it up for a horse like the number 5, Bless the Broken. Bless the Broken was a surprise 3rd place finisher in the Kentucky Oaks last time out, 17-1, and got 3rd, beaten 3 1/2. Of course, 2 races back, was able to win the Kentucky Oaks prep race, the Bourbonnette Oaks at Turfway Park. So was 3rd to Good Cheer also in the Rachel Alexandra earlier in the season, and has kind of ran 2nd or 3rd behind some really nice horses here and there throughout her career. So going to drop back, make one run. If we get the 3 going, we get the 4 going, maybe the 6 gets going early, then maybe it is Bless the Broken that could jump up and get a piece of things as well. Let's keep going to the number 6, Looking Forward. This is a horse trained by Michael McCarthy that won the 8 Bell Stakes at Churchill Downs on Kentucky Oaks Day. So another Kentucky Oaks Day runner that was not in the Kentucky Oaks. The 8 Bells was the victory, going 7 furlongs, won it by 1 1/4 lengths. The only kind of worry, and I shouldn't say kind of worry, it's a big worry in my opinion. Going 2 turns, the horse is 0 for 3 in the last 2 races. Going 2 turns, the Honeybee was 7th, beaten 12.5, and then the Ashland was 6th, beaten 10 3/4. That doesn't necessarily scream, hey, let's try it again and we're going to have success. But, this will be the longest this horse has ever been. The thing is, the horse really is bred to go 2 turns, so maybe it was just tougher competition that kind of got her there. I have a hard time backing her in this spot because even if it is tougher competition, well, no way to get around that. And if she really doesn't do well going longer, no way to get around that either. So I'm not a huge fan of her here. I think she's a pretty big long shot in my mind in this one. Then finally, the number 7 is Quick Kick coming out of the Kentucky Oaks. This horse was 41-1 that day, ran 7th, beaten 12.25. Fairground Oaks ran 4th, beaten 7 to Good Cheer. The Honeybee ran 5th, beaten 8 behind a nice horse named Quiet Side that day as well. Quick Kick, just 1 win in 7 starts, and it was a maiden special weight, obviously, right here at Saratoga. After that, didn't run bad in the 3-year-old races when she moved up to Grade 1 company. 2nd in the Alcibiades, 3rd, beaten 6 in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Fillies. But overall, not quite good enough when moving up in class, and that's kind of been her problem, and I think it'll be another problem here today. She is the longest shot on the board, according to the morning line odds, which I think will be pretty accurate. So, yeah, no interest from me either. All right, well, look, I think, this reminds me a lot of Torpedo Anna in this race last year, where you just kind of looked and, okay, can we beat her? And then you quickly go, I don't know. And Torpedo Anna was able to crush last year, and I think Good Cheer will be very tough in this spot this year. At first I was like, hey, let's try to find the speed horses. We do know that Saratoga plays very well to speed. Then you kind of look and go, well, it is very realistic that the 3 Lucara, the 4 Shred the Gnar, and the 6 look forward could all kind of go out there, and won't the 2 Good Cheer just kind of sit 2-3 links off of them and then go get them? I think so. So I'm going to go number 2 Good Cheer to win this race. I think she'll be very tough to beat. I do kind of think Lucara is going to hang around in this spot and get second. So that's the horse I would play in second to try to juice up the payouts. Shred the Gnar could also as well, but I think the experience of Lucara may be able to hang in there a little bit longer and make a race of it. So I'm going to go straight 2-3 exacta probably in this race. No, probably. That's probably what I'm going to do. And we'll just see how that turns out. So, but on top for the Acorn, I'm going to go number 2, Good Cheer, not getting fancy at all with this one. All right, guys, that'll do it for this preview. Hit that like button if you like it. Subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alert anytime we do previews like this or videos like this of any kind as we lead up to the Belmont Stakes. All right, thanks everybody for watching, and good luck if you're playing Saratoga on Friday.